Tuesday, the county approved, Vigo County that is, a new department. It would focus on utilizing its geographic information system that was implemented in 2004.
Vigo County Commissioner Brendan Kern says this new department would partially be overseen by the Highway Division and its engineers. Abigail Degler spoke with Kearns today to learn why he says this is a good thing for the county. Abigail.
Dana, Mike Kearns tells me that the county wants to stay ahead of the time and efficient in their work throughout the county. One way to do this is by utilizing technology like GIS to their advantage.
One of the things that I've been looking at since I've been here is how we can use technology to make our operations more efficient.
Kern says using the GIS system will help departments within the county government come together and look at what may need their attention, and also help them keep data on projects to know when they may need repairs in the future.
With the GIS position, the GIS person will be able to log that area as an area of concern.
He says the GIS system will allow workers to track and log information that will be accessible to other parts of the government. He says one example of the many uses of the system is when signs are being put up in the county.
When signs are installed, you tag them in the GIS system, and then you know that in 4 years you need to recheck that sign to make sure it's okay.
He says in discussing the creation of the department, financial concerns were brought to light. Kern says they did not have to seek additional funding for the position, but instead recycled money that was already in the department.
We decided not to fill the assistant position and move the assistant up. That opens up some money. That money was then used to create the GIS position. Larry Robbins, an engineer for the county and now the head of the new department, says this will help improve communication. He says with the restructuring of the highway department and the addition of a GIS director, more things can be done more efficiently.
Overall, it should be better service to the public because a lot of these things, GIS is a way to track this as well to make sure these issues don't fall through the cracks.
Robbins says in total 2 new positions were created for the department, and he now has additional duties for overseeing the new department.
So what are these new positions and how much do they pay?
Dana, the first is an office manager, which is an hourly job that will pay a little over $36,000 a year, and the other is a GIS coordinator, which will pay roughly $60,000 a year.
All right, thanks so much, Abigail. In some other news now, the Terre Haute Fire Department releases the cause of a fire at a Rally's restaurant. It was due to an electrical issue. Fire crews went to the Rally's at 3rd and Walnut Streets around 10:40 last night. Firefighters say the flames were coming from the back of the building. The restaurant was open when that fire started, but no injuries reported. And calls like the one at Rally's pretty common. In 2019, the fire department responded to nearly 11,000 calls, and the need for their service continues to grow.
With new features coming to the city like the VA Center, already under construction, and the casino on the east side, the department is looking ahead to keep public safety as a top priority. Taylor Johnson joins us now with some of the ways the department is doing just that.
Well, Mike and Dana, I had the opportunity last week to spend some time with the Terre Haute Fire Department, which was a lot of fun. And I just learned what goes into their day-to-day and how they're being proactive with the growth that's coming in Terre Haute. The Terre Haute Fire Department is made up of firefighters, medics, and EMTs. In 2019, the department responded to 10,918 calls. 3,000 of those calls were fires and 7,900 were medical calls. During their 24-hour shifts, if they aren't on a run, they're taking time to train, keeping their skills current. According to Chief Jeff Fisher, the department is looking to hire 10 new people, and they are forming a committee to look into how they'll go about restructuring the department to accommodate Terre Haute's expansion.
There's a lot that goes into it, with a lot of information that we need to think about when it goes into, big changes like this. Okay, do we put a house out east, or do we put a house up at Brown and Locust, or do we build 2 and then shut down a couple?
Chief Fisher says the Firehouse Committee will have their first meeting tomorrow.
And so who is part of this committee?
So there are already members of the fire department, around 16 people, and Chief Fisher says that he wants to work with his team because they're the ones who are out there. They see what's going on in the community, and they will know what works best to give him suggestions.
All right, thanks so much there for that report. Well, local leaders hope more people will join them in saying See in Terre Haute. Today, the Terre Haute Chamber of Commerce spoke to groups who work with the area's senior population. They wanted to share the message of the CU in Terre Haute Vigo County 2025 Community Plan. Chamber President Kristen Craig says the goal is to get the community engaged in that effort. She says she sees signs that more people are becoming involved.
We're seeing more people embrace the brand. Culver's has put up a billboard on I-70 that includes some of the CU and Terre Haute marketing. So we're really excited to see people starting to latch onto that and starting to really use it as their own.
And she says the goal of the CU and Terre Haute Community Plan is to halt declining population and increase per capita personal income.
Vigo County school students could soon receive new opportunities to help them enter the workforce. Today, the school corporation held its first business education roundtable. The Chamber of Commerce presented its community plan. Work One representatives talked about local opportunities and the soft skills employers want. Superintendent Rob Hayworth says they also got a conversation started about creating a work ethic certification. It would establish criteria seniors can meet to receive a certificate.
That certificate then can be taken to any place of work that's participating, and there is an incentive. Maybe it's a guarantee of an interview. Maybe it is a signing bonus. Maybe it's the waiving of a 2-week startup period before you're officially hired in.
Hayworth says the hope is to roll that out for the 2021 school year. He says they also want to have a discussion about creating meaningful apprenticeships.
Meth continues to have a tight grip on the valley, but help is available. We're devoting a whole day to take a look at this issue. So tomorrow morning at 6 on WTWO News Today, Nicole Christine will bring you a special report. She'll show you the evolution of meth here in the valley and the problem it still creates today. And then at 6 p.m. on the WTWO Evening Edition, I'll share stories of 2 determined women. They each paid a big price for their meth addiction and both overcame their meth habits. Again, join us for those special reports tomorrow, and you can also check out our website, mywabashvalley.com, for extra content.
All right, so unfortunate that this kind of activity happens,
right,
but I'm glad we're putting some emphasis on it.
You bet, and more help is available out there,
yeah,
so we'll go through some of those things.
That's good, all right.
Yeah.
Well, winter advisory is out for the area, and Jesse's back with the latest on the winter storm.
Oh, also coming up on Live at 5, what Illinois teachers doing to improve education across the state.
Local news that matters with Mike Tank, Dana Winkleplack, and Chief Meteorologist Jesse Walker. You're watching WAWV Live at 5.
Weather facts. What's the coldest temperature ever recorded in the valley? We recorded the coldest temperature here on January 19th, 1994, when it hit 31 below zero.
This weather fact is brought to you by Terre Haute Chevrolet.
Save big money on a great selection of laminate flooring at Menards and get free laminate underlayment after rebate with your purchase. Save on Perfect Seal XL 12 from Mohawk. It's beautiful, durable, and waterproof. Only $259 a square foot. Declutter your closet with closet-made wire closet kits. They're easy to assemble and can be customized to fit your needs. This kit for 5 to 8 foot wide closets is $109.99. Menards is your home improvement store.
Save big money at Menards.
Here at Team Ortho in our clinic, something we're really proud of is our connection with the local high schools. We have athletic trainers that go to the Greene County schools, and we make sure that students are taken care of promptly. But we see a little bit of everything here. We also have on-site radiology here in the building. People really appreciate that we are able to offer this service close to home here in Linton, where you can do your appointments, your surgery, your follow-up rehab, everything right here and never have to leave town. So that's what we're here for, and that's the service that we're most proud of.
I'm Todd Hine with LaborLink. Follow our Facebook page for updates on all of our jobs. These jobs include light industrial, manufacturing, surveying jobs, clerical jobs, administrative assistants, first, second, third shift, Vigo County, Clay County, Park, Vermilion, Sullivan County. Everything's here in Indiana. Everything's a short drive. I'm Todd Hine with LaborLink. Follow our Facebook page and do not miss a job opportunity.
It's the latest bribery scandal.
Did my mom bribe Sensei Ron?
Gloria's hitting below the belt.
If she bribed Sensei Ron, who else did she bribe? Did I even deserve this?
On the next Modern Family. Modern Family today at 6.
Your local weather authority forecast is brought to you by Dorset Automotive.
Come and see the award-winning 2020 Hyundai Palisade at Dorset Hyundai.
Your local weather authority with Chief Meteorologist Jesse Walker.
Welcome back, everybody. Wanted to show you a live look once again with our Graver Post building cam looking to the west toward the courthouse. Wet roadways, at least in the Terre Haute area. Just a cold rain right now. You go north of there, it's a little bit of a different story. And we do have a winter weather advisory in effect. There's been 3 counties added since yesterday. That would be Clark County in Illinois, then Vigo and Clay in Indiana. But I really think it's going to be just north of that area where we run into more of the mix and snow, although I do think everybody will probably change to some snow later tonight before it ends. But definitely the northern areas will see more of the wintry precip, and the southern areas just looking at a cold rain. And speaking of cold, coldest temperatures of the winter, Thursday night, Friday morning, wind chills below 0 for most, and near record low air temperatures on Friday morning, especially those northern areas that pick up a little bit of snow. So the cold will follow, but it's a short kind of area of cold, because after that it's going to warm back up some as we head for the weekend. Today, temperature's not all that warm for a daytime high, 37. That's below where it should be, but it was 30 earlier this morning. 70 the record high, 13 below is your record low. We've picked up about 0.2 of an inch of rain, mostly rain, a little sleet initially here, but it's been mostly a cold rain at the TV station. So we're up to 1.63 for the month and already over 7 inches of rainfall and a little bit of melted snow so far during this year. Here's what it looks like at the airport in Terre Haute. Again, the temperature 35, so again, it's just a little bit above freezing in Terre Haute. East winds at 8, humidity high. There's a wind chill 29, and the pressure is falling as we expected with low pressure now moving this way. You take a look at the temperatures, and here's the difference this makes. 37 Vincennes, 35 Terre Haute, 34 Paris. All of these areas are pretty much rain or a bit of a mix north. Then you get north of there, 32 Champaign, 33 up there in Danville, 33 over in Crawfordsville and Greencastle area. Those areas are looking at more of the mix and some snow. As a matter of fact, it's snowing in Champaign. They've already got snow on the ground up there, so it's just barely north of the immediate area. We're looking at some of the snow. Here's the moisture coming in. This is a pretty good sized storm. Typically, if this was a normal winter with some cold in place, this would have been a classic setup for a big time snow in this area, but we're lacking the really cold air. Here's the jet stream. You can see it lifting north, so that system is going to come up pretty quickly from the southwest. You can already see the moisture streaming northward. Snow is mostly northwest of here is where we're going to be talking all snow. And some areas, say north of Champaign to Lafayette, maybe looking at 4 or 5 inches of snow up there. But it's mostly our far northern areas where we have the snow. Then it's that cold rain down to the south once again. So here it is on the Dorset Automotive Doppler radar. Southern areas looking at the cold rain, probably a mix just north of the interstate. And then we get into more snow when you get up here towards the Champaign area on Interstate 74. But definitely you can see the trend. Wintry weather north. Cold rain down to the south. That's kind of the way it's going to stay for a while. Here we are right now, kind of the snow and mix north, rain south. Now, what will happen when the storm moves through here tonight, we're going to see the snow stay pretty much north, the cold rain to the south, but then on the back side of this, cold air will wrap in behind it. So as we get into the overnight, say 3 or 4 o'clock, I think everybody will see this change, but it's not going to be a lot of moisture, but it will change over to some snow overnight into tomorrow morning. So some of you could still, even the southern areas, could see a little snow on the ground. Then the story tomorrow is the cold air plunges in, wind chills will drop, temperatures will drop during the day, and we're talking coldest air of the winter season arriving on Friday. We've got sunshine, but boy, it's going to be cold as we head for the end of the week. Here's your forecast then as we take you to the overnight. Winter mix north, cold rain south. I think after midnight, everybody transitions to a little bit of some snow. 32. Then during the day tomorrow, some snow showers mostly in the first half of the day. Falling temperatures, 34 in the morning, but temperatures will fall after that. Coldest air of the season will be arriving after that. You'll see daytime highs only at 21 on Friday, warming only into the 40s for the weekend. That's your forecast. We'll be back right after the break.
Get the news, weather, and sports that matter most all in one place with the WTWO News app.
At Stadler & Company, if you have been a loyal client, we have launched our 556 program to say thank you. This loyalty program could save you on your tax prep fees, and you could potentially have your taxes prepared for free. Call today or ask for details at your appointment. As always, mention this ad to receive $50 off your tax preparation.
Stadler, the tax pros.
Buy more, save more. during the fantastic 4-day sale at Furniture Row. That's 4 fantastic days to save $100 on every $1,000 you spend. With the best selection at the lowest prices guaranteed, it's the perfect time to design a new living room, dining room, bedroom, or fall into a new mattress. And check out doorbusters while they last. Plus, 7 years no-interest financing. But don't wait. The fantastic 4-day sale at Furniture Row ends Monday.
I thought you said you'd be here yesterday.
Where's the heat?
What do you mean maybe next week?
Where's the heat?
When you have a heating or cooling emergency at your home, you want someone there fast. Call Bay's Heating and Cooling day or night and we'll get someone there fast. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Plus, Bay's offers a 10-year parts and labor warranty on American Standard heating and air conditioning equipment.
Bay's Heating and Cooling.
We keep you in your comfort zone for less.
Where's the heat? Bay's.
Countdown to Daytona is brought to you by Lambert's 24-hour heavy-duty towing, recovery, and hazmat spill response. This is local news that matters. WAWB Live at 5 continues.
All right, race fans, your long wait for the NASCAR season just about over. Sunday will mark the 62nd running of the Daytona 500.
And today was just one of the big events leading up to race day. Dan Lucas joins us live from Daytona with one of the storylines from Media Day. Dan.
Good evening, Mike and Dana. It's always a big day at Media Day here because it feels like the Super Bowl. After all, the Daytona 500 is the Super Bowl of NASCAR. But we have a lot of really good storylines going into this year's race. One of the best, all these guys, they're already mad at each other. They don't get this kind of treatment at every race, and if there is such a thing as not understanding the magnitude of the Daytona 500, drivers are quickly reminded this race means everything.
It's a big race for us. I mean, it's a big paying race. It's just everything starts our year off strong if you have a good run here. I feel like it really can kickstart your year.
We've been very fortunate over the last 6 to 8 years, have amazing success in this race, and we hope to continue that this weekend.
It's longer than a week to build up to the Daytona 500, and that means opportunities to get angry. And right now, some drivers are a little upset with Joey Logano.
You good? You good with me? I'm good with you. He's good. I'm good. We're good.
Logano was involved in a crash during last Sunday's Clash race, but cooler heads will likely prevail as the Daytona 500 means more than settling a score.
There's just so many aspects of speedway racing that come together. It's tough. It's a chess match. Physically, it's not a very demanding race. Mentally, it's the most demanding race we go to.
I'll tell you, with the exception of your front row drivers, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and Alex Bowman, these guys better have some cool heads in tomorrow night's dual qualifying races because that, of course, sets the starting grid for the Daytona 500. Mike and Dana, cooler heads. Let's send it back to you.
Okay. Thank you very much,
It looks lovely there, doesn't it?
It is, and I was telling you that I've had the opportunity to actually be on that track. They'll give tours, and you got to be about 60 or 70 miles an hour to go around the banking. That's how steep it is.
Wow.
But it's a great race. It's a great American race, they say.
Race on Sunday.
Yeah.
Hey, coming up on Live at 5, a fun fundraiser for Swope's Art Museum.
Yeah, and you might want to deal yourself in for this one.
It's Ashley HOMESTORE's President's Day sale this weekend. 4 days only. Save up to 30% off or pay 0% interest for 6 full years with no minimum purchase. Get this 5-piece dining set for only $10 per month. Friday to Monday only at Ashley HOMESTORE. This is home.
Hurry in tonight for Longhorn's legendary flavors. Our new limited-time blackened salmon with our smoky 18-ounce outlaw ribeye and our rich and savory Flo's filet. That's how steak is done. Longhorn Steakhouse. You can't fake steak.
They say less is more, but we believe more is more. That's why we build FanDuel Sportsbook with more ways to bet, more ways to fund your account, more ways to cash in, and more ways to cash out, with payouts delivered straight to your bank account in as little as 48 hours. You want more? You got it. Join today and get a risk-free bet worth up to $500. FanDuel Sportsbook. More ways to win.
Nominate a hometown hero on MyWabashValley.com. Each month, we'll honor a new hometown hero selected from the nominations received from our community. Your hero will be featured in a special story aired during our newscasts and displayed on MyWabashValley.com.
Okay, everyone, our mission is to provide complete balanced nutrition for strength and energy.
great tasting Ensure with 9 grams of protein and 27 vitamins and minerals. Ensure for strength and energy.
It's Ashley Home Store's President's Day mattress sale this weekend. Going on now. Buy a mattress, get a free adjustable base upgrade. Or pay 0% interest for 8 years on top bedding brands. Plus, buy a mattress and receive up to $300 Ashley cash. Only at Ashley Home Store.
Closed captioning is brought to you by Terre Haute Chevrolet. It's more than just a Chevrolet. It's Terre Haute Chevrolet. This is local news that matters. WAWV Live at 5 continues.
Welcome back, everybody. After the storm moves through the area, coldest air of the season looks to arrive by Friday. So we're going to show you what the temperatures will look like. Right now, we're in the mid-30s across here. Now, we're not talking wind chill. This is the air temperature, so that's where we are right now. By tomorrow morning, it won't drop much, down near the freezing mark. But then watch tomorrow. That's at 10 minutes to 8 in the morning. Temperatures will fall during the day. At 4:30, we're already down into the 20s, even some teens in the western counties. And by Friday morning, air temperatures dropping down to near 0 in places. Wind chills will be colder than that. So cold start to the day Friday, and it just doesn't get any better. Highs on Friday only near 20. So cold way to wrap up the week. We'll talk about how long the cold will last. That's coming up here in just a little bit. For now, we'll head back to Mike.
That is cold. All right. Well, Ron Hodge joins me now he has details about a fun way you can help raise money for the Swope Art Museum. Welcome.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you for the time. Thank you for the opportunity to be here. We've organized a euchre tournament at the Idle Creek Banquet Center. This will be a week from tomorrow evening, Thursday the 20th.
Right.
The doors will open at 6:30. And the tournament play will actually start at 7. So we're excited about it. It's a great game for a great cause.
Yeah, I played it a long time ago in high school. It's a great game.
It is a great game. But specifically why I'm here this evening, we need euchre players.
Yeah,
we really do.
Okay.
And so that's we appreciate the opportunity to get that out there.
The Swope. Tell me a little bit about yourself. You're really new to helping out the Swope, right?
First year, just volunteer. There are a lot of volunteers at this time of year to help during this fundraising season. It leads up to the really big
Mardi Gras.
The Mardi Gras, which is a week from Saturday, and that kind of thing. We of course that's sponsored by Indiana American Water, and we're very excited to be a part of that.
And you and your wife you said your wife is an artist, right?
She loves amateur work, and she's very good at it, and she would kill me for saying it. But
well, you know, it's true, right?
It is true.
Why did you want to help out the Swope? Because you said this is your first year of doing this.
Yes. We love what they do. The Swope has been around for nearly 80 years. They have just about almost 2,500 works of art in their collection going back to the 19th century, and for all these years, it has remained, the general admission remained free.
Right, right.
And so the idea of hopefully being able to help to continue that tradition of keeping it free, we love to be a part of it. And then with the euchre, it's good fun, good fellowship, and again, we need euchre players, so we hope that your viewers will give us a call and join us a week from Thursday.
Are you going to play yourself?
Probably not.
You don't like the game, or
love the game.
You're going to be more organizing, right?
Just making sure everybody's taken care of.
Okay, all right, that sounds good. Hey, and Euchre Night will be Thursday, February 20th at Idle Creek Banquet Center. Doors open at 6:30, and play begins 7 p.m. Cost is $40 in advance, $45 at the door, if space is available. We hope there's. Well, we do and we don't. Well, we'll make room, right?
Yeah,
all right,
absolutely.
And for more information, call 812-208-7651. All proceeds, of course, go to the Swope Art Museum. Ron, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Good luck with you guys.
Thank you.
All right. Still ahead in our second half hour of Live at 5, another big night for Bernie and Mayor Pete in New Hampshire. We will let you know what this means for the Democratic Party hopefuls moving forward. And the U.S. looks to make sure it is prepared for the coronavirus.
I want to welcome you to Dorset Ford in Marshall, Illinois. We're encouraging Ford owners and potential Ford buyers in Indiana to make that short drive over that money-saving bridge to find your next Ford. I can tell you that our Illinois residents already know about the great savings and service at Dorset Ford in Marshall, Illinois. And if you don't see the vehicle in stock or on the lot that you're looking for, we'll still save you money. Go out and find your vehicle, bring it in, new or pre-owned. It's all right here, Dorset Ford, Marshall, Illinois.
Comes versus mozzarella
fantastic. When heartburn hits, fight back fast with Tums Chewy Bites. Beat heartburn fast. Tums Chewy Bites.
Central TV Furniture and Appliances is the place to shop for your bedroom furniture and all your bedding needs. Short on cash? No problem at Central TV. Our in-store financing with payments to fit your budget and huge cash discounts on every product in the store.
It's time to get local. Shop, dine, and choose services from local businesses.
Did Uncle Sam write you a check this year? Turn that tax refund into a beautiful new bedroom collection, dinette set, or living room. Our showroom is packed with models to match everyone's style and budget. We also carry a wide range of American-made furniture, even some built right here in Indiana. Glidden Furniture, 3631 Wabash.
For a list of businesses, log on to mywabashvalley.com and get local today.
Come explore Budget Wines of Terre Haute and see the widest selection of styles in the largest showroom in the Wabash Valley.
Let our friendly and experienced design team help you find the best window treatments for your home.
Sit back and relax while we do all the work, from precise measuring to professional installation.
The possibilities are endless, from simple design to high-end quality window coverings.
Come experience Budget Blinds at Terre Haute, located at 1206 Wabash Avenue in downtown Terre Haute.
And now, your WAWB forecast first.
Welcome back, everybody. We continue with precipitation across the area. Much of the region right now, cold rain, but some mixed north. Here's what it looks like in the Terre Haute area with our Graver Post building cam, and mostly a cold rain. Temperatures are in the mid-30s up there in Terre Haute. We do continue with a winter weather advisory, basically along and north of I-70 now. This is through the overnight. I do think this will change into some snow before it ends tomorrow morning. There's the satellite and the radar. Again, mostly cold rain south, winter mixed to the north. You can see that on the Dorsa Automotive Doppler radar. Temperatures are in the mid-30s across the region. Overnight, as colder air moves in, we do expect this to change back to some snow. Notice that overnight. We'll talk more about that here in just a little bit. Your news continues right now.
This is local news that matters. You're watching WAWB Live at 5.
Here's a quick look at today's local news headlines. Tuesday night, the Vigo County Council approved a new department. It would focus on utilizing its geographic information system, which was implemented in 2004. Commissioner Brendan Kern says using the GIS system will help departments within the county government come together and look at what may need attention. It should also help them keep data on projects so they know when repairs might be needed in the future. 2 new positions were created for this department.